Husband's work wife invited him to an upside down pineapple party that my husband took me to, unknowingly that it was this kind of party. And if I didn't have my suspicions before, I clearly do now. Because according to my husband, he had no idea this was the kind of party that we were walking into. I've heard about this like little work wifey that he has, and he has sworn to me up and down that it's just like a stupid thing at work, and like it's because him and her are like the older ones, and a lot of the kids that work there are younger, and whatever. Besides the point, I like kind of let it slide. Thought it was a little bit weird at first, but I've met her before, and Deborah ain't got nothing on me, okay? So I thought. And then my husband comes home one day telling me that he wants to go to this party that Deborah invited us to. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. I'd love to chat with Deborah, get to know her a little bit better, you know? Put her in her place. Because I was catching on to the fact that she's been a little flirty with my man. So we pull up to this party and we walk in, and like, I should have noticed the red flags right away. There's just like a table full of drinks, but next to the drinks is like boxes on boxes of spicy cubes. And I just kind of looked at my husband and I was like, oh, that's an interesting party favor. And he's like, yeah. And then as the night progresses, like, we're just hanging out, we're talking to people. I'm getting to know Deborah a little bit. I'm actually sitting on the couch chatting with her when this woman comes out of nowhere, and she's like leading this man like through the living room, and then they just stop in the middle of the living room where everybody is pretty much gathered, and she just drops to the ground with this man's pants, and she just starts slurping him up like a popsicle on the freaking 4th of July. Looking at Deborah with my eyes really wide open, looking back at this girl, I'm like, you think she needs some privacy? Thinking that she's just like all drunk and stupid. And Deborah's like, oh honey, did your husband forget to tell you what kind of party this was? And I immediately death glare daggered my husband. He's like, what do you mean? I didn't know. Like, he's like all stuttering and stuff, and Deborah's like, oh, I gave you so many hints, so many signs at what kind of party this was. And then they brought out the toys. That was my cue to get my husband and leave. We grabbed a couple of spice cubes on our way out and went home and did our own thing. But what the fuck, Deborah? Like, what are you, like, was she just trying to get my man there so that maybe she could sleep with him? Because now I'm a little bit suspicious. Not so much of my husband, but more so of Deborah and her intentions.